Hi, Jim. This is Jim Gillis with Win My Vote. And sorry I don't have my camera on, but I'm not in the office and it's the background is not set up for it or anything. But wanted to get this to you as soon as possible. I read your article about getting money out of politics and elections and about the 28th Amendment, and I fully support that for sure. We here at Win My Vote are taking a different approach to getting money out of elections. And it really started with me looking through the voter guide the day before the election and thinking, I can't believe this is the official voter information that's given to every citizen. It's hasn't changed in 100 years, and everyone flips through it. Nobody actually uses it. And a good example of that is in 2018, Gavin Newsom ran for governor, didn't even bother putting in a profile into the voter information guide. You can see it just left it blank here. And he ended up winning by 24%, which is considered a huge landslide in elections. So the sort of special interest, understand that there's this massive void in, voter information. So they swoop in with paid advertisement and go for name recognition and slinging mud and a variety of other techniques, and just dominate, elections. Um, so I got together with a couple of guys and we said, hey, we should do something about this. The first question is, why hasn't someone already done something about this? This has been an issue for 50 years. There's plenty of money in this industry. It's an $11 billion industry. The voters, right, who are the buyers in this industry, are unhappy. They're extremely unhappy. The candidates that are sellers, in this market, are also extremely unhappy. And this, cartoon goes to that. Here are the candidates bowing down to big money special interest, wondering, is there another way? So the only ones that are really happy are, special interests that are able to go in there, and run advertisements. Um, so we kind of said, okay, what would this platform and site look like, and could it have a viable business model? So the answer to that is, one, yeah, it would be a voter's ballot, because that's the thing that's most important. When the election is, what races you have to vote on, and who are the candidates in those races, as well as propositions and measures. And then the business model would be candidates pay to have active profiles on the ballot. So there's about 1 million candidates over the course of 4 years. You extend it to 5 years, and it becomes 1.5 million candidates. And you say they pay $299 per year or per election. It gets into the hundreds of millions of dollars real quickly. So it's plenty sustainable from a revenue model. So this is what we came up with. The platform, you sign up for free with just the email or social media account, and with just your zip code, we will give you your ballot. And here you are in your ballot, and you can see that the election's coming up November 8th. You can see all the races. You can click over here and see important dates leading up to the election. You can find your polling place, and then you can select favorites and print out your ballot. But you can scroll down and see the down ballot races, the city council, school board. You can also go down to the state propositions and the local measures. You can even see the ones that are pending, that are not on your ballot yet. So this could be something that could be 6 months out. You could be looking at the propositions that are already on there, as well as those that are pending. Um, and with that, as the candidates build their profile and they file for office and they become certified on the ballot, you'll see your ballot start populating as well. So you can go down here and you can see all of this stuff. And so, for example, if someone asks you who's running for city council, you're a click away from saying, oh, here are the 5 candidates running for city council. Here are the 4 so far running for school board, etc. We have a feature here called trusted sources. So as a voter, you add trusted sources to your ballot. And this is groups and organizations and individuals that have endorsed candidates or propositions or measures. So you can go through here and say, okay, I want to add, these guys, and I like Sarah Silverman, and I like the Sierra Club. And let's say if I want to search for someone, I just type that in, Moms Demand Action, and I search for them. Now I can add them real quickly. I can also just click straight through to their page. and their page is a ballot. So this group would have access to every ballot in the country, and they could go through and they could favorite the candidates that they want, or they could go through and have position statements on propositions and measures, and I would be able to easily see that with a single click. Now I can say, okay, this is great. I'm going to go down here and see where they stand on all the propositions, and I'm going to go back up, and I agree. Let's select Mark. Now, I don't even need to go back to my ballot because, again, these ballots are connected. So I can select Mark Cuban. He's on my ballot, so now he'll become favorited. I can also click up here and say, I want to vote exactly like this group does on my entire ballot. So I can do that, and then I can go down here and I can see that here are all the propositions and measures that have changed. Now I'm all done, but at the same time, maybe I want to change my mind on one. So I can do that. I can also see the percentage of how they're doing. This is great for groups and organizations. It's also great for candidates, right? They can measure how they're doing, in the polls at all times, and it doesn't cost them, anything to do that. So I'm going to add them, but I'm also going to add one of my friends, Sarah Smith, who does a ton of research. She's great. I'm going to add her to my trusted sources as well. So now when I go to my ballot, I can see the candidates here. And for example, Kimberly, has raised $300,000 for her campaign, and Mike Young has raised 500 bucks. But it won't matter to me, right? This guy can raise $1 million. She can run 300,000. He can raise 500 bucks. It doesn't matter. This is the level playing field. I'm going to give them all a couple of minutes, and I'm going to pick my favorite. So I'm going to click onto Mike here. I can watch a video. I can go down, read about him. I can go up here, do a quick bio, see where he went to school, see what he's doing. I can see the party that he's running under. I could share the profile with friends. I can ask him a question. I can go to his website. I can donate. I can also, click on the issues here and see where he stands on issues. And I can scroll down and see all of them. I can also click over here and just go right to the issue that I'm most, concerned about. And that happens to be the waterfront redevelopment, let's say. So now I can, see where he stands on this, and I can learn more about his stance. And keep in mind, he's building this profile. So this is essentially just like his Facebook page or his Twitter account or his LinkedIn account, where he can update it and he can put more and more information and links and all sorts of stuff. So, with that, I say, great. I also want to see who are the groups and organizations that are endorsing him. Now with the show all, he is, picking these and featuring these as his endorsement, which is great because it will allow me to, get to know him and what, who he's featuring and promoting. So this is great, but I really also want to just see my trusted sources, what my trusted sources, who my trusted sources are supporting and who they're endorsing. Sorry about my cursor keeps disappearing. So I see Sarah here, and I can click on Sarah's endorsement, and then I can watch her video and read what she has to say about him. Same thing with Unite America. I like those guys. And now I decide to favorite Mike, and he's going to be my choice. So I go back to my ballot, and he's moved to that first position. I can see that he's doing well at 33%. These guys are kind of fogged out so that this is nice and prominent. But I'm also going to share his profile with one of my friends. So I do that. And now my friend here gets this profile. And instead of me sharing on Twitter or on Facebook or whatever, where my friend would look at him and say, hey, this guy Mike sounds great, I'll try to remember 3 weeks from now on Tuesday. Now he's able to see the profile, and he can sign in with social media. And now he's signed up, and he can check out the endorsements. And let's say he, added Sarah, which is our mutual friend, to his trusted sources. Now he can then see, that same thing. So the nice thing about this is Sarah can make one video, write one endorsement, upload that to her account, and then anybody who selects her as a trusted source can see that, endorsement. So with that, Robert votes 31 here, favorites Mike, goes back to his ballot, and you can see that his ballot is there as well. So in this scenario, he decides he's going to, add a bunch of he adds a bunch of trusted sources, but I won't bore you with that. Let's say he adds a whole bunch. And now he's down here at the propositions, and he's really concerned about proposition 2. He can watch this sort of neutral video. and then he can go through here. And here's one of his trusted sources, Ethan Behrman, and he clicks on Ethan, and Ethan has a whole 3, 4, 5 minute, 10 minute video all about Proposition 2, right? And he can click through and he can see what the other side has to say. He can also go, sorry about that. He can also go down here and he can uncover leading arguments. Let's say these are not one of his trusted sources, but he's willing to click through and see, what that is all about. Sorry about that. And here's Eric Swalwell, so he wants to see what Eric has to say about it. He can watch a video, read the message there, and now he decides, he's ready to vote, and he's going to go yes on it. And he's even going to go as far as doing his own endorsement in video. And now, it's right up here. And then he can also share that proposition. So say he shares it back with me. So here I am, Faster Voter 22. I'm back here, and I see that he's sent me this, and I say that's great. And I actually added him as a trusted source in his email. So he's there now, and I can click here and I can watch what he has to say about this video. And then I agree with him. So I'm saying yes, on that one. So you can see how this can kind of go viral. And we think that the candidates would like this because for $2.99 they can reach every voter that's on this site. And voters will like it as well because it organizes our ballot, all in the same place. And I'll actively make a decision for whom to vote on this site. And again, that's what the candidates want the most as well. They're not going to go out and spend $1 million knowing that the day before the election, I'm going to look at these candidates side by side and pick my favorite one. So we think money will come out of elections because of that. We did the national student vote and the national student parent mock election in 2016. We're set to do those two, as well as the National Association of Student Council, Discovery Kids channel mock election, and a few other ones. But we are looking for investment. We're probably between 50 and 100,000 away from having everything that we want to have built and launched. And we feel like it's going to be, something that's going to be sustainable in the first, couple of months of the business. It's not something where people are going to pour money into in hopes of, future revenues down the road. We think it's going to be something that will be, profitable in a very, very short time. Anyway, we'd love to talk with you about it and give you a demo of the live site. I would take you there now, but I have so many tabs open that I probably show you the wrong ones. So we'd love to talk with you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.